Hello, welcome to another tutorial video. What we're going to be doing now is looking at the mark scheme for question 5 and 6. And I say 5 and 6 and mean exactly that because the mark scheme for them is exactly the same. The communication skill, the organization of ideas, and the technical writing skill that you need is exactly the same for both. The only difference is that it's a slightly different piece of writing. So your skill in writing has to be the same, but the actual focus of your writing is going to be slightly different. In question 5, you're going to be describing and explaining, and question 6 you're going to be arguing and persuading, or should I say. So question 5 is worth 16 marks, 10 of which are for communication of content and organization, and 6 are for the actual technical accuracy of your writing. We normally call that spelling, punctuation and grammar. It's not completely accurate, but it will do for our purposes. And question 6 is worth 24 marks, 16 are for the communication of content and organization, and 8 are for the actual writing. So what we're going to do over the next series of videos, we're going to look first of all at overall elements that we need to include, then we're going to look at some model answers, and we're also going to look at examples of this. So I'm not really sure exactly what sequence I'll do them in yet, but hopefully if you refer to all of them, it will give you a good chance of doing well. I have to say as well, I've put together a video that was really useful last year for the argue, persuade, advise in particular. So if you have a look through the channel and just type in argue, persuade, advise in the search engine on my channel page, it should come up, and that will give you a good head start as well, because I'm not going to flog a dead horse even further by doing that video again. Okay, so starting off then, 3 areas. You've got the communication, and you've got organization of ideas, and you've got the skills. So communication is basically what you get across. Organization of ideas is how you structure what you're getting across, and skills is how accurate what you're getting across is. So those 3 things are what you're going to be marked on in both. We start then with the paraphrases, trying to make it a little bit more simple for ourselves. So the first thing we've got to do is communicate in a way which is convincing and increasingly compelling. So we have to sound assured the whole way through our piece, and it has to get better and more complete. So one of the trademarks of a B grade essay is that it starts off really well and then it just kind of drifts away. We need to make sure that and then we're still getting marks for the first 2 paragraphs. We need to make sure that we start well and then we just get better as we go, and that's by making our work grow, which I'll come to in one of the next videos. Second thing, form, content, style are consistently matched to purpose and audience, and becoming assuredly matched. So you're writing for the right audience, whatever is actually put to you, or whoever should I say is actually put to you in the question, and your form is being borne in mind. So this is going to be in a newspaper, and they're well mixed. So you've you know the whole time that in each paragraph or in every bit that you're writing, we get the sense that you're writing to a local audience and you're writing in the form of an article rather than an essay or a pamphlet or a speech. So for example, if you're writing a speech, then you're going to be using perhaps references to the audience, something like that, to make it stand out. So yes, your form and content are definitely for the right audience and the right form. Engages with the reader with structured and developed writing with an increasing wide range of integrated and complex details. So that means your topic grows. You don't repeat the same sentences, you don't kind of rehash the same things. Your point actually grows and includes details, and your writing on the whole is well structured and different structures are used. So in it being well structured, that means that things are in the place that they should be. You've kind of got a very clear kind of opening, a very clear ending at its most basic level, and then you've got clear sections and points that you're developing in between, in whatever kind of writing it is, because every kind of writing has its own form and its own structure within it, and then the different structures used throughout. So this is more in reference to maybe ways that you're trying to engage with the audience. So you might open with really technical language, then you might move, it's a really technical paragraph, then you might move into a kind of reflection on the problems of it, then you're going to move into the development of certain ideas, etc, etc, etc. So it's got a feel and a structure that way. For argue, persuade, old school. For argue, persuade, one of the things that you're going to be looking at for that is, say, in structure wise, is going to be, the opening might be, you horrify the reader with your first bit, first paragraph, then you might want to make them feel guilty, then you might want to give them some hope, then you might want to show classic examples of things that have worked, and then you might want to round off with inviting them to join your course. So the structuring there is, very specific. Writes in a formal way, employing a tone that is appropriate, serious, but also manipulative, subtle, and increasingly abstract. So you can write in a way that reflects the tone of the piece. So this one is obviously going to be serious because it's a difficult decision. It's not going to be, should I put a blue hat on or a red hat? Obviously, I suppose if you lived in LA, that might be a bit relevant actually. But it's not going to be, whether I should buy a hat with a dolphin on it or whether I should buy a hat with a panda on it. They're not difficult decisions. You're really going to be looking at maybe moving out, or you're going to be looking at ideas of an abortion. Obviously it's a massively difficult decision, and obviously with this you can make up things, but we'll come to that at different times. So just make sure that you've got a reflection in your writing of the task you're actually asked to do, and that you can get the reader to understand and agree with your point of view, and you can concentrate the link to wider themes and ideas. So basically what that means is that you can go into the ethical or the moral or the themes and ideas that are actually linked with whatever the topic is. So say in this one we'd actually written something about focusing and studying, for example. The difficult decision you had to make was, or giving up one sport for your studies or vice versa, etc. Then you might actually have to do with the idea of wider themes and responsibilities might be to do improving your future, obviously the idea of being responsible, the idea of improving your focus, etc., etc. All of these are slightly wider themes than just what you initially did. I stopped playing football to concentrate on my studies, for example. The differentiation should be quite clear. Use linguistic devices confidently at the right time for the right effect, and that's in reference to using linguistic devices such as rhetorical question, etc., in a consciously crafted way that is increasingly sustained. So you have to use things at the right time for the right effect, and obviously if you can use irony and satire, etc., then you're going to be definitely in the higher bands, but it will only work in certain circumstances. And I suppose the best thing I can say about that is and that's why I've put in right place, right effect. Don't overdo it with one. That would be the worst thing that you can do. I remember putting a student in for early entry a couple of years ago, and I thought for all the world he'd get an A. I was even secretly hoping for an A star, and it came back with a B, and I was really shocked. So I asked for his paper back. I got it marked, got it looked over, and when I looked over his piece, this is the area that he'd fallen down in the argue, persuade, advice, his writing, and he'd got a C for that response. And I was like, well, what did he do wrong? And I looked down it, and he just put in like a simile or an alliteration in every single line, to the point where it became ridiculous. It was, and the examiner even commented, this boy really likes alliteration, and it was he just completely didn't put them in at the right time or for the right effect. It's not just to shove in as many as you can for an A star, it's to try and appropriately pick and place the ones that you're actually going to use. Shows control of extensive vocabulary, with word choices becoming increasingly ambitious. It shows great range and choice of vocabulary. The important word there, or the most important word there, is choice, so that you can actually use it again at the right time. You'll see with A and A star, it's not just about being able to do it, it's about being able to do things at the right time.